Thanks for staying with us. So, popular Nollywood actress Tonto Dikeh and her politician lover, Prince Kpokpogri, deepened their breakup rumor as their love affair crumbled recently. Now, Prince Kpokpogri allegedly leaked an audio conversation of Tonto begging him, claiming that she is the disturbed one, threatening him with suicide. This was coming days after Tonto broke up with him officially and has actually also come out to say this was an old audio recording. Now, as usual, we don't want to discuss these people's matter, really. Our focus is how do you begin to spot a toxic relationship that you're in, or how much do you open up? Is this betrayal? Is this cheating? This publicity of our relationships, does it help our marriage or does it destroy our marriage? Exposing your weakness to your partner. So in that time when you're very vulnerable and you break out and say everything, hoping that this person you're speaking to is responsible enough to hear you and not put you out to the public for ridicule. How do we, as adults, begin to spot and know these things before it gets out of hand? That's really the conversation here this morning. Please, if you'd like to join the conversation, you can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also send us messages on YouTube, and Facebook will be happy to hear your thoughts. Ladies, let me start with Nima. Go ahead, please.
So I don't have the permission of this, my mentee, to share details. So I won't mention her name. But a mentee of mine had a young marriage, less than a year, and the first fight, she was, according to her, was being abused by her partner, and he went as far as abusing her family members. She got provoked and started to rant, and at that point, he too kept quiet. So she thought it's the advice of the wedding that they say when he's angry, you keep quiet when you're angry. So all the while, he kept quiet, and she was ranting out of provocation. He recorded everything. Everything she said. And so when the fight had gone down, and she was still like, he played it to all family members on both sides. And it totally destroyed her because she had something she had put in his hands, something about her vulnerability, her past, that she had confessed to him. Between both of them alone, he also released that.
Oh.
You know? So that's why I took interest in Tonto. I read it very detailed. Is it okay? Is it your defense when you record your partner in a relationship where trust has been established, where I can say anything and, okay, later I say, okay, I'm sorry. And then even though you record it, how does it get out? You know, let's say you record it and then we are past it. Did you delete it? Are you sorry about it? And then you know the
now use as evidence against me in future.
The guy had said I had tweeted or wrote a post that your ex-husband calling out our ex-husband saying you try now man you be.
What?
And then he said later I have evidence I would share. And then later this leaks. And now he's saying he didn't leak it, but he recorded. Who recorded it? How did he
recorded?
The level of such betrayal. I'm not saying she's a saint, and so likewise, a lot of people have their past. But once we get into a marriage, it's a different ball game. Because I saw the family of my mentee, and even the in-laws family tear apart for what they heard from the recording. So nobody has the maturity to say why was it recorded.
Let me come to Miriam, your thoughts on this, because that trust. So there's a marriage, there's an institution of marriage. And yes, we do things and we're adults. And yeah, I open up, I'm vulnerable to you. The least I expect of you is to hold that trust till death do us part. Really. But how come we're not seeing stuff like that anymore?
It reminds me of the Bible where they say brood of vipers. That's the sort of people we're engaging with these days. Everyone is just acting in such a way that they have put their ego and their selfish wants ahead of, you know, just mutual respect, just kindness and empathy. How do you, for me, I'm wondering, if you're in a relationship with someone and you have gotten to the point where you record that person, you don't love the person.
Exactly.
Why do you hate someone and then put yourself to be in a relationship with them? You have to hate someone to put out that sort of audio about them, to even have the mind to take it and then play it. You know, we used to hear these things about the Hollywood actors and actresses, and we'd be like, Oyinbo people, how do they behave like this? They don't have culture, that's why they behave like this. But it's obviously a human thing, where you are with people that have no sort of kindness in them. They're just wicked people. And for me, I'm sorry, as you said, she's not a saint, and we're not talking about that. We're saying that when there's a relationship, there's that mutual trust that should be there. But it looks like we have to start talking about NDAs, non-disclosure, whatever, agreements. So whatever happens within this relationship stays within this relationship. If you are caught saying anything about it, I can sue you. That's what celebrities abroad are doing. It's because they have seen this thing happen over time, over and over again. The truth is that when you are a public figure, there will be people around you who want to take advantage of that. And some of them would put themselves out as if they love you, they care for you, they want to be in a relationship with you, but they're just biding their time, waiting for when they can use whatever information they have about you to, you know.
You are a private figure. We've had relationships where it didn't work out anymore, and then you just start hearing secrets you have already shared with your partner. You hear it all over. If you dated in the university, it was rife. You break up with this boy, and all those things you told him while you guys were dating, the whole class. You just come to class one day, and everybody's looking at you like this. They have heard the story, you know, and that has made a lot of women not be vulnerable. They are not able to share. They are not able to, you know, give their all, because there's this, there's always this wall. You just, a little wall, no matter how small it is, that
very strong.
Some people's own strong past other people's own. But, you know, just build it to, as a way of protecting yourself, because anything can happen in that relationship. And we had the mindset that when you get into a loving relationship, a marriage relationship, you don't share everything. They know they tell man everything. You know, that's how we're raised, actually. It's as a result of all of this. Now, we are beginning to have conversations where we're saying we can work together. Can two work together except they agree? We can share. And the two of them became naked. We are supposed to be naked with each other, with our secrets. We're not supposed to have secrets in marriages. Let me talk about marriages now, because relationship, nobody send you down. But marriages, you're supposed to be able to open up to your spouse. Let them know who you are. If anything happens, your spouse is supposed to be your protection. There is nothing that will happen today that the marriage ends. I will now sit down and be saying, this is what has happened. This is how this person has lived. This is how I will never find myself in that position, because even if it ends today, what happened to the love we had yesterday? What happened to the respect we had yesterday? And I'm very weary of men. I observe men a lot who are flippant, who can easily share secrets of other people. Tomorrow, they will share your own secrets. So I think we need to do more. Let's not be in a hurry to just get into the relationship because the butterflies, the person has six packs and everything. Let us watch their actions, how they relate to their family, how they relate to their friends, how they relate to their colleagues, how they relate to people that they do not benefit anything from.
Still, and don't even get into those relationships while you are broken. Sometimes when you're broken, you just... You kind of miss those important details. Let's go to a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So we're discussing this matter because we're trying to learn how to avoid people. I don't want to be so direct, but maybe I should. People like Prince Kpokpogri. You know, how women should not fall into the trap of being with people like this, who can bring out your darkest, your most secretive parts of you to the open.
Your weakest moments.
Your weakest moments. That is wickedness at its height. So as much as for him it might be a public display, where you let people get that traction and let them hear what this person said, but some of us we didn't interpret that way.
No.
We saw it as a complete betrayal.
He looked wrong. It looked bad for him, because, you know, when we were growing up, when they would talk about boys, kiss and tell. The boys that kissed and tell were the silly boys. And then
the immature ones.
The immature boys. And then they were supposed to grow out of it. So some of them grew out of it. But you knew, as the girls, as a smart girl, you know the kiss and tell one. He's the one that's always just talking. He would even say things that did not happen to look like he's more important than. He has been with every girl that he cannot even dare be in her presence. And then God help him, he now gets into a relationship with that girl. Everybody's going to know every tiny single detail. So those sort of boys we avoided them. If you were smart, you knew them and you avoided them. Some of them now grow up into men like this. Yeah. It does not look good on you in any way. I don't know who deceived you, sir. Because what you did is low level, really, it looks really bad on you. And for girls too, I think because you mentioned something, girls, it's important that you learn to love yourself. You need to understand that you on your own, you are important. You need to have standards for yourself. You need to have boundaries for yourself. It's okay to draw the line on something and say, I would not take this and I would take this. But it's okay to be by yourself sometimes. If the men around you are not up to par. If they're not the sort of people that you can find that show respect, they're not kind, they're not normal thinking people. Because they're the ones around does not mean you have to be in a relationship with them. Please.
Have a standard.
Have a standard.
Let me take this call. Good morning, are you there?
Well done.
Good morning.
Hassan, you're live. Go ahead, please.
And good morning, the high table. Please, I would like you to differentiate between this caliber of people and normal people. Please. Because you see, you can see what that the subject you're talking about did to her first husband. These are the fake people so far. Those caliber of people, we know them. Everything of theirs is in public domain. They derive their popularity, their fame, from their exposure to the public. They are not real people. Stop comparing them with people like you, Murayo. Stop comparing them with people like Mariam. You understand? These are the people that all their life is on fake. Both the man and the woman. Men and the women in their category, that's what they are. So when you are talking of a decent relationship, please let us talk of decent people.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I want to play devil's advocate for this guy.
Want to what?
Play devil's advocate for him. Okay. So let's assume that, let's acknowledge that it's Tonto he married. It's not every regular woman. She's a drama queen. This could have been the other way around. Yeah. And we've seen men who've been saved by the videos. Neymar, the footballer, was saved by the CCTV camera in his home when the girl came. So we know the kind of wiles and caprices that women play. Yeah. A smart woman can decide, okay, this means the world will hear. And Tonto, you saw the kind of past that she had with her ex, the kind of drama that surrounded that breakup, everything, the publicity. And this guy would be in a relationship without working on eggshells. In fact, the relationship will be working on bottles.
If we're not entering,
wait. So maybe, just maybe, keeping an audio of every conversation was his defense.
There's no point.
Just maybe.
Just maybe.
DSS
we're trying to make sense of it. Okay. We look at the person in question. Okay. This is not a regular young girl.
So if you are dating like a Okonjo-Iweala now, you need to record.
You can't record this.
But somebody who has a past and precedent.
You don't have to date the person.
They don't date.
But they are dating.
No, you don't have to.
They don't, but they are dating.
If you know you're so
that's not dating.
Relationship guns blazing.
I want to pause because I have experienced something like this before.
Okay.
It's interesting. I like to share my own story. I mean, many of you already know my story. And I mean, I'm one person that I try really hard not to have enemies because that's my nature. I wouldn't intentionally have an enemy. But if you become an enemy, that's your business. But I don't go out, set out to have an enemy. But I've fallen out with a few friends in the past where each of my friends that I've fallen out with, I have approached them. We've spoken, we've ironed this out, and even though we're not chummy, we still respectfully, at least we've cleared the air.
Yes.
But there was one in particular, I refused to clear the air because of things like this. So I open up to you, I tell you certain things, and we fell out, and the next thing you do is forward every message or thing like that. They don't record, they forward to you ladies, forward to producers, forward to everybody. And for me, that was like, okay, I told you this in private. It was an A-B conversation. Yet I said a few things I probably regret I shouldn't have said it, but I said it to a friend. And then having it passed around. And even the person I said about you, one person but there's something I said about my husband that, of course, I didn't mean it, but it came out the wrong way. The person sent it to my husband. Now, a normal person would say, Mariah. So it took a lot of maturity on the part of my husband to understand, okay, she didn't mean it that way. It came out, when Mariah man, she mistake on small slips here and there. You know, so these things happen not just in male-female relationships, but in friendships, when you open up to your friend, and then it goes out,
and everything is out in the open.
So we have to be careful.
So we need to understand that you cannot give what you do not have. If you're dealing with somebody who does not love themselves, what do you expect? It starts from there. There is no way I would have a fallout with any of you on this table. And I will go outside and expose it. Because I love myself. I respect myself. I value myself. And in any relationship I have, I try to love the next person. So if it's something that I know if you do to me, I will not like, I will not put myself in that position to do it to you. That's one. Secondly, we're always in a hurry to be vulnerable. There's time for everything. It's like a prostitute who finally gets married and has children and now decides to start preaching about how she went through that experience. And then you call a child of 4 years and start explaining to the child that I want to be open to you. I want to be true to you. I used to be a prostitute before. You have damaged that child. When that child is old enough to understand and process that information, then it's okay to give that information because you want to be true. But you just start a relationship of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you start telling them you have killed 7 children before you got into this relationship. You have done this, you have stolen before, you will end a relationship that would have grown to a level.
But they will say you're keeping secrets.
It's not secrets.
That you're not opening up.
There's time. There's something I always observe from Miriam. Miriam does not rush into relationship with anybody. She will just be studying you and be giving you time. She'll be studying you and be giving you time. And I was discussing with somebody and they said, yes, she has to. Because of the way human beings have become. You don't give, even the scripture said, you don't give the food of the children to the dogs. There's time for everything. So when you start a new relationship, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, is not the time to tell them that you used to steal before, you used to do this before. That's not the time. Okay, you will even drive somebody that would have loved and understood you and get themselves to be ready to take you for who you are.
Let me take this call. I'll come to you. Samuel has been holding up for a while. Samuel, are you there?
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
My take on this matter is that a lot of people lack the requisite maturity to go into relationship.
Yes, like that. Requisite maturity.
Maturity is a thing of the mind, not of age.
Yeah.
If you are mature enough to go into a relationship, you will love for the right reasons. And if you love for the right reasons, you will, no matter the information at your disposal. As far as I'm concerned, when I fall in love with my wife, look, I fall in love with you, what is happening now. I don't care about your past. I was not a part of your past. So that is none of my issue. Even though at my own starting point, we divert everything to each other. And today, by the grace of God, we are 11 years into marriage.
Wow, congratulations.
Not that we don't have issues. We have issues. But we resolve our issues maturely. No family people, no family interference in our matter.
Right.
Whatever starts in our houses, we don't, So a lot of people do not have the requisite maturity.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Samuel.
We like that. Thank you.
So at what point, what do you see as signs in a marriage that you're now thinking? Because for a lawyer that has relied on couples' videos and evidence for my cases, I cannot come here and be pretending people should not take audios. In fact, once you give me a call, I'll say, do you have video evidence? Because it's our strongest link. And if you do start to build the video evidence, I mean, they know. And I've done it for a man trying to divorce his wife as well. So I'm not going to... What pattern do you see in a person that you need a defense? That this might be the end. You've entered this relationship in love, blinded, but now you are seeing clearly. Okay. And things don't they open. What exactly would you do?
Let me say, for me, it's not just about, it's the content. What is he trying to prove? We have people who have found themselves in physically abusive relationships. And before they come out, the same man that has beaten you will pamper you until you get well before you're allowed to come out. So women like that would take physical. But if it's to show how, look at her, who she was begging me for. She was actually begging. It's the content. This is just anyhow gutter behavior, anyhow information you just want to
prove. He was trying to prove infidelity. In one of the conversations, he mentioned that there's a message of someone
Who are you
at
trying
3 a.m. saying, I'm at your door.
But who are you trying to prove infidelity to?
To the person,
to the public.
That's the point.
So who are you? You're trying to prove infidelity with your lawyer?
You get this evidence and use it in a private, family courts are usually private, in a private session, it's different. But when you now think...
But that is not evidence now.
All of them are going to social media courts.
It's not even that. You, see, he was accusing her of infidelity. She was saying she was not committing it. And if he thought, this is not something you have to sit down with the whole council of elders to discuss. I don't even trust you. I don't believe you. You may be telling the truth, but I don't believe you. End of relationship. Simple and short. Not everything has to be recorded and made to make you look as if you have found a big secret. And see, you know what? I don't even like the style of this your hair anymore. I just don't want to be in a relationship with you. Simple. I don't like the way you smile. I don't want to be. You have the right to decide to end the relationship. You don't have to spread how the process happens.
How you press your toothpaste. We don't like it.
We're going to wrap up on this. I'd like to get some tweets and some tunes and messages. I think I have a call holding, I believe. No, I don't. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So I'd like to take a few messages from Facebook and YouTube.
I'm just taking to you. Mariah is looking really beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I love the way she calls the guy's name Kpokpogri. Kpokpogri is a kid and should be ashamed of himself, thinking he can destroy Tonto. See himself with the bad dress code, wearing furs in Africa. Wow.
Nima, don't read
Chris
that
says, make her leave the recording, because if not, she record and nobody go talk. Madeni says the audio is bad. Kende said, with all this show, now you ladies know how to gist.
Any other messages?
Mariah, we need a tutorial on how you tie this head wrap.
Now, honestly, that's the next show. Beecee says, I wouldn't support anyone recording any conversation with someone else in an ideal situation. If it now results to needing a legal evidence for an abuse, perhaps that would be an exception. And
so,
I
but you
agree.
can even record, but it has to be used responsibly.
Yes.
So there are things you record. Just so if I was the guy, and I wanted to, because just like you said, there's a possibility a man like that is probably walking on eggshells, knowing that, okay, I'm in a relation with somebody who has broken up here, had these issues, so I want to guard my heart. Okay, fine, you want to record, no problem. Then the conversation between you and I, right? And then when you make her understand, I have seen you, you've done this, this is the last chance. It's just between the two of you. It shouldn't get out because of your own... It looks bad on you as a person when that kind of thing gets out.
Even if you don't put it in the gist and all the blogs, you put it to family, it's still getting out. And this has been a trick for men, generations unborn. Where we'll be, we say, oh, wait, let me call a friend who was there, or we even press record. And you know, when the smartphones now came, it became so popular. I used to just hate that there's a conversation happening and a man just has to talk about private things. The Rasul Sallam used to say that curse such men who release the privacy of their bedroom, the things that happen with their friends. So it's even a sin in my own faith. So you have some relationship and you are easily talking about it with all your friends. You have bad things going wrong. All your friends know already. And family members.
Let me take this call that comes to Mariam. Namdi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I'm first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I love what you are doing here. But I want to make my contribution on nothing. Okay, what I want to say on my own view is that it is an immaturity for you to destroy your security within the person you are in a relationship. It is an immaturity. When somebody is mature to be in a relationship, you don't have to discuss anything. So any person that does that is not mature enough to be in a relationship at all. Because relationship between two persons is all about keeping secrets for each other. So no matter the level of dispute that come in, you don't need to disclose it to anybody else. I cannot disclose anything with my girlfriend with anybody. It's nobody's business. even if we separate and the secret element, they don't see any parties themselves because at the end of the day, everything boils down in the woman's fold. So once that there is a lady's secret, you are targeting the image of the girl at the end of the film affect the girl in future. So the girl you did not marry or intention that you to have the son or your friend. I see that it's an immaturity on level of some guys and they are not qualified to be that.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Namdi. Yes, Mariam.
Yeah. So I remember a story, and it's about, you know, Muslims are allowed to marry more wives. And this person had a Muslim man approach her and talking about his first wife, the mother of his children, telling her she cannot do. That's one of the, that's one of the things. And I said to her, like, if you can say that about her, the one that has given her life to him, and you that you're just passing through, just know that your own is waiting for you in front. So there are people like that. I just want to say, the releasing of audio of a situation like that is also like releasing someone's pictures.
Yes. Yeah.
You take them, and in his own case, he will be taking your picture without you realizing that your pictures are being taken, and then you release it. So you're right. People have done this over time, but we need to teach people to be smarter. Because I also feel that people like that attract their kind.
Energy.
So if you are that sort of person, you're likely to meet someone like that. But there have been situations where innocent people who do not deserve to be treated like that have found themselves in situations like that. Be careful of how people you're with treat others while they're still charming and happy with you. That is your message. That is your flag that you should take. Don't allow them to use you as their example.
Let me take this call from Doris. Doris, are you there? Doris, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Morning, Doris.
I just wanted to like contribute. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. What happened is, like, it was yesterday, I'm not even a social media freak like that. So yesterday, a friend of mine was telling me about this Tonto Dikeh, whatever, and I'm like, okay. So why is the guy coming on air to release the audio? For what? What is he going to gain? Is he like trying to like sell himself, or he's trying to like bring Tonto down? But I feel the guy is very mature. The guy is not mature at all. The guy is a baby. Because it's only a baby can behave like that. Even most babies are even mature. But how can you have a conversation with a woman or someone you claim to or you like, and just because of a little, I don't even care if she actually did what she did. But the truth is, we are mature people. We are supposed to talk about it and tell it, and everyone. And if you don't want her, hey, talk to her, let her go away.
Exactly.
Come on air or bringing yourself to out is crazy. Like, to me, it's crazy. It's like, hey, so we can't even trust ourselves anymore.
Yeah. Let me take this message I have from someone. It says, Morayo, love is for fools. Love can't be spontaneous. Love comes after you've assessed your partner objectively with his capabilities to allow you to aspire, achieve beyond, being a good listener that feels what affects you, accepting you. I kind of mix it up. Okay, with all these, there must be reservations too. As a wife and mother, you must be ready to support when necessary. Please leave love alone. It comes when it does. But
we got
so what you trying to say that love is love
but
is
you must test it.
You must test it. You must test it. You must earn it too. But I wanted to just quickly add to Miriam that there's an adage in my place that says the king where they use flog first wife. They hang for back of door. They wait for the second wife. And it goes both ways.
Yes.
So we need to understand that there is a thin line between love and hate, especially in these climes. Like the way the love will switch to hate in like 0 to 100 in a split second. You'll be wondering, is it not these two people again? What happened? If we have that at the back of our minds, we'll make it our priority to ensure that the people we bring into our space, especially when it comes to relationships, are people who are good people. And you also ensure that you yourself are a good person because you will attract your kind. So if you can rule out the fact that this person is good to everybody around, is a good person, if anything happens, he will not treat me bad. You'll be rest assured that when issues like this happen, you just hear that these two people are no longer together. What happened? What happened? Nobody's talking.
We fell out.
We fell out.
So sometimes it's about you spotting what your problem is. So you've left a relationship, one that you claimed was terrible, full of lies and everything. Why do you need to prove everything to that ex?
My sister.
What are you trying to prove? You know, so you have a man And why do you have to have a man? Instead of having a man, why don't you have a quality man? You know? Why do you have to have just any man? And even if you do have a quality man, what is your problem with proving? Because in relationships, we forget the baggage, the children, a lot. We forget them quickly. In this conversation I had, take care of my child. Don't let the father get him. What exactly? You know, these are full of emotional blackmail.
This drama. The man that's already putting you outside, the person you want to even give your child to.
That kind of thing, You see, people say a lot of things when they are emotionally down. That for information is not for us. It's at that moment when she's saying, think about my child.
She was desperate.
She was desperate. That means that desperation is between you and the man. And I can be vulnerable with somebody I fall in love with. That should be vulnerable.
The moment of weakness.
You can be vulnerable.
So it's wrong for...
Wait now. But don't blackmail.
Is that blackmail?
Wait now.
I can blackmail. Listen.
Me and you wait now. Wait. Let's try and understand.
If I blackmail you because I fall...
I agree that you should not lick on you. We have agreed that.
Yes.
And now we are trying to see what was working in the mind.
But if I blackmail you, I probably did it in error. I probably did it because at that moment I'm not thinking rationally.
So we're saying it was the moment of weakness.
So these people make mistakes all the time.
You deal as matured adults, because we're saying he's not mature, she's not matured. If you are a matured adult, you deal with issues. If your husband or partner has an issue with you, leave the child, your past, in one place and kill that issue. I did not do anything. Your audio, my messages that you read, this is my phone. Leave an open relationship. And if you do have to answer to anything, answer it well. Before you are going far, going Gino, go and bring shit.
Go to a blackmailing thing.
Say your ass is not good. That's why he has to be...
You know what? You know the problem.
Let me take a response after this call. I have a call from my brother. Good morning, are you there?
So cute.
Hello, good morning. Are you there?
Hello, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so this about recording and for evidence sake, I think I really don't have a problem with people that record for evidence sake. I mean, it depends on what you want to use it for. In my case, I had a friend. This was a female friend. Of course, I'm a lady. I became really close to her and shared a lot of things with her. Unfortunately for me, the friendship was based on a lot of lies because this lady was feeding me with a lot of lies. I shared even marital issues that I had with her, and unfortunately, I found out that she wasn't married but was lying about being married and sharing false information with me. I found out a lot about her. I went online, found out stuff and everything, and I said, okay, you know what, since we're friends, I'll present her with this evidence that I have that all you've been telling me has been lies so far. And then when I was going to have the conversation with her, I said, okay, you know what, because I know this person to be one person who tells a lot of lies. Why don't I just record for evidence sake? So I decided to record our conversations and everything. Trust me, all that she still told me and everything, she still lied about it. And I was like, okay, you know what, I'm just going to leave this matter to rest anyway. But I'm going to be careful with how I deal with her moving forward. But I never shared it with anybody. Of course, I discussed it with my siblings, with my sisters, and I didn't share the audio with them or anything because this is somebody that told me even about jobs because I'm an entrepreneur and everything that she even told me about, like she came with me with a job idea and everything that, oh, she has this client that wants to do this, that, and eventually it was just a lie.
Right. All right, thank you very much.
I want to this caller.
I'll come there and say, Beecee, I'm just calling it. So I come to you. Well, you see, I want to make sure Nima understands what I was trying to say earlier. It's the fact that, so if I have a child out of wedlock, and then the man who I had it with is now married, happy, and is rubbing it in my face.
Why did you keep your face there?
No. He's okay. Well, I mean, the point I'm trying to make is that he has hurt me so bad.
And you have not healed.
For me, I have not healed. Okay. I've come to you now. I am married to you.
So bleed on me.
That's my most weakest point. So when I am now mad at you, I'm telling you, please don't let this man come and further hurt me by breaking up with me. I don't want, I said, cover my shame. I'm saying that I'm trying Bomila Shiri. So I'm saying, please don't put me to shame. And I'm saying that to you because I really mean that. But I don't want the world to hear me say that because into the world, I'm hard-faced, I'm handling this, I'm on top of this matter, and I'm okay.
And then you expose
And then you expose that.
So the problem now is you got into another relationship when you haven't healed. What we see as peppering is we that are the ones who are translating it to mean peppering. Somebody will do something, and then you assume that they are making it pain you. They are putting up the picture because of me. They want to pepper me. It's your state of mind. So you need to heal. That's why they say heal in your relationship or heal after your relationship is over, so that you don't go and cut some or bleed on somebody who didn't cut you. So you transfer everything, all the baggages, because you have not healed, to the next relationship. It won't work. It won't work. Secondly, I also wanted to say that we haven't learned the art of conflict resolution. So something happens and we're bringing in the past, the future, the future into AI and all of that into something that we could have just spoken about it and resolved it as the issue is. Unfortunately, if you have a track record of lies have been trailing you, it's difficult to focus on what is happening because the person who you're dealing with will be thinking of, are you planning to do this to me because you have been doing it? You have a track record of doing that. We need to solve our issues by focusing on the present. What happened? I was accused of cheating, Abi. I did not cheat. This is it. This is how it happened. I went to this place. I called you. I was going here and all of that. And try as much as possible to make our engagements day-to-day transparent so that you have alibis. We watch your Igbo film. They say, where is your alibi? Where were you at so and so time? You have alibis in case. Because if you have a track record of lies, the onion is on you.
You have landed, though.
To defend yourself, that you are now a break and come back.
When we come back.
We'll be right back. We're ending up this conversation. Right.